So here we see a Chinese or a Taoist philosophy to go with your Christian philosophy, but the point that I want to give you right now is that what you know as mind and time begins there. Above that, you're into a realm where rishis, wise men, and avatars go to in meditative states. And if you think, oh, that's a bunch of foo-foo crap, who can tell me when the atom was first identified and described as having a neutron, a proton, and an electron? Anyone know? Several hundred years ago. It was identified by a Greek philosopher way before they ever had microscopes, to the T. And there's many, many things like that. As a matter of fact, I was watching a DVD by a quantum physicist, and he said something that struck me. He says, I'm sure that any day now, at the end of one of my mathematical equations, I'm going to find a rishi sitting there with his legs crossed. If you don't know what a rishi is, it's an Islamic wise man. You know why he said that? Because every time he makes progress in quantum mechanics and quantum physics, he keeps finding out that everything the wise men said that did it through meditation and Tibetan monks and all these people is true. And you go, how the hell do they know this stuff? Because they have the ability to move up into the source of all, where all knowledge exists. Study the life of Walter Russell, for example. The guy had a 4th grade education. He identified 2 elements on the periodic table before anyone even knew about them. 2 people were given scientific awards, the Nobel Peace Prize actually, that stole his information and later apologized to him. Study Walter Russell, you'll see an example of what I mean. I could give you many others. If it hasn't gotten interesting yet, hang on. Like I said earlier, if this stuff sounds crazy to you, then well, I'm telling you a great story, so enjoy yourself, right? But I'll tell you this, there's a reason I'm up here. I'm not up here because I do a good job shining Ken Kanakin's mag wheels, okay? Now, let's get serious. Mind is the builder. If you read the life of Edgar Cayce, study the life of Edgar Cayce. He was a clairvoyant. He was a person that did readings on people for doctors. Many of the top doctors in the world used Edgar Cayce when they had sick people and they wanted to know what was wrong with them. They couldn't figure them out. Edgar Cayce did over 2,000 medical readings on people with a 100% accuracy. Edgar Cayce clearly defines cases in his biography of experiments that he did to prove that the mind is the builder. I won't go into them right now, but you already know it intuitively. I'll just show you what's going on. This is skipping some steps, but I want to show you this right now. What you tune into, you tune your mind to any thought. If you want to get up out of your chair, you got to think, get out of the chair, don't you? Try not getting out of the chair without thinking about it. I want to see it happen. Okay? Unless you're sleepwalking or having a seizure, it's not going to happen. Okay? So you always have to tune your mind into anything to get anything to happen. Right? No matter what you do. If you want to drive 70 and the speed limit's 50, you got to say, oh, screw it, I'll drive 70. Right? It's always a choice. The instant you tune your mind to anything, it's no different than dialing somebody's cell phone number. Right? You can dial 760-477-2620. You'll ring my institute, because that's the frequency that the phones on my institute resonate to. So the instant you tune your mind into anything, you are a cosmic antenna, and you attract anything on that vibrational level to yourself, exactly like a radio station, exactly like a walkie-talkie, exactly like a cell phone. This thing right here is a radio. It's tuned into a frequency, and it's tapped into that camera, and it's on that. So everything I say is sent out by this amplifier on the frequency that it's tuned to, and then my voice is recorded on there. Your mind is exactly that way. Whatever you think, you tune into, and when you think about anything, if you think about it frequently enough or long enough, you energize it, and you actually attract matter to it. you attract matter to it. How many of you know how chrome is put on a bumper? You know, how do they do it?
Electron transfer.
They use an electron transfer. So they create an electrical current, and electricity is light, slowed down, or it's actually not slowed down, it moves at the speed of light. Thought moves at the speed of light. If you think any thought, here's a wicked statistic for you. Ready for this one? This is some scary shit now. Every thought you think makes it around the globe 7 times a second. So if you're thinking shit about people, that guy's a real asshole, blah, 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 that's wrapping itself around the world 7 times a second. And you're influencing everybody in the whole planet with that thought. Now, that might seem, oh, well, you know, blah, blah, that's not true. But if you think about it, it's really important, okay? So what I want to show you here is that the nervous system is the vehicle for the mind. The human nervous system is the vehicle for the mind. And look at what I've got for you right here out of Gray's Anatomy. This shows you the neurovascular plexus. There's a sympathetic plexus. And every single plexus in your body, every hormonal gland and every nerve plexus taps into different parts of your body. And check this out, right out of Gray's Anatomy. You see what this diagram shows you? These are single cells, ladies and gentlemen. Single cells. You've got about 100 trillion of them in your body, and you have a nerve ending that touches every single cell in your body. So any thought you think, remember your brain is part of your mind. You use your brain to tune in. That's what it is. It's a tuning system. Let me show you how it works. Watch carefully right there at the edge of this picture. Your body is constructed very, very much like a plant. Remember, we've moved anthropometrically through the entire biological kingdom. So if you want to see a correlate to how your nervous system works, take a bulbar plant and flip it upside down, right? So you see my plant turned upside down. The human brain is like the bulb. It's the root system, and it drapes down. So all your nerve endings are like the roots draping down through your body. And your solar plexus is the root plexus that extracts the energy and information from the soil. Solar means sun. Solar plexus means sun plexus. That's the plexus that takes the energy from your gut and distributes it through your body. That's why if you have screwed up digestion, you always are going to have a screwed up thinking process, because the mind is the engine of thinking, and if you don't digest, your solar plexus can't distribute the energy effectively. So as your health goes down, your capacity to think goes down. As your capacity to think goes down, your capacity to create what you want goes down, and the next thing you know, you feel stuck. Okay? That's not high performance. That's low performance. So your body is like the stalk, and the flower is actually the crown of the body. So the metaphor basically works root system and body as you see it here. Okay? So the question you got to ask yourself is, well, what do I want? Because any thought is a mechanism by which you've tuned your consciousness into something. Okay? How many of you, for example, have thought, you know, I really need to talk to Bob or somebody, and the phone rang, and it was them. These kinds of things, the more tuned you get, the more often that happens, you'll see. How many of you have walked up to the golf ball and before you even swung the club, you knew it was going to be a shitty shot? And you were right.